Hi everyone, I'm going to continue the series today of the stories of the great Sephardi Rabbanim, and this week is going to be the Hilula, the yahrzeit of another great rabbi, a rabbi named Rabbi Avraham Palacci, and it could be pronounced various different ways, or Palachi. He was born back in the year, it was reported in the year 1809, so we're talking back in the at the beginning of the 19th century, and passed away this week on the 23rd of Tevet, back in the year 1899. So he lived 90 years, which is a very long life. And he is one of the great Turkish rabbis from Turkey, from Izmir. He was born in Izmir and also passed away in Izmir. We're talking about towards the end of the 19th century. So first of all, he came from a very great yichus, very great background. His father was Chacham Chaim Palacci, who was also one of the great Turkish rabbis. He was a rabbi of Izmir. For many years. He was the head rabbi of the chief rabbi of the city. And remember, at that stage in time, the city of Izmir and in Turkey, there was a great amount of Torah flourishing at the time. Synagogues, there was a lot of study halls, a lot of Torah learning going on, and a huge Jewish community. So it was a very prestigious position to have during all those years. So it happened to be Chacham Chaim Palacci. His father, he actually was born between the year 1813 and passed away in 1868. And he wrote many different sefarim, many different books, Chacham Chaim Palacci. And his son, Rabbi Avraham Palacci, who is his Hilula this week, he followed suit very much at a young age. He learned in a school in Turkey, which was the name of the Bet Yaakov school, which was naturally a yeshiva, nowadays a popular term for the seminaries, which many girls go to, is called the Bet Yaakov. However, there was a specific yeshiva, a Torah academy in Turkey of the name Bet Yaakov, which he studied in at a young age. And his father was renowned, Chacham Chaim Palacci, for authoring many different books. And Rabbi Avraham Palacci also followed suit. He did it and started it at a very young age. He was writing the many different sefarim. In fact, to date, he wrote more than 20 sefarim, it was reported, and it varied, the sefarim did, all within regards to writings, within regards to Musa teachings, within regards to Shulchan Aruch, the code of Jewish law. He wrote books on the Choshen Mishpat, of the different ordinances and judges. For an example, he gave records of Abraham Avinu, he gave a book about. And it's interesting, all 20 books which he authored had the name Abraham inside of it, naturally because his name was Abraham. He was Chacham Avraham Palacci, so he used his name, which was very much signified. However, at a stage earlier on in his life, he actually wrote many more manuscripts, and also his father had many manuscripts, Chacham Chaim Palacci. But a very big fire broke out in Izmir, in Turkey, and a lot of it unfortunately was ruined even to this date. So a lot of the Torah learning he had was unfortunately lost. However, he left us with a lot of treasure chests of books, which is even used to this date. His father had passed away in 1868, and Chacham Avraham, he took over his place as a chief rabbi, the head rabbi of this prestigious city of Izmir in Turkey, and was a head rabbi for 30 years. He happened to be, until his passing in the year back in towards just the year 1900, where he passed away in the year 1899. It's interesting. They say that he actually started up a Bet Knesset and a Bet Midrash in his own house, in which I believe was called the Bet Hillel. This was many years back in when he was maybe in his younger years or maybe his middle years. He started up and had synagogue after him, and made a massive synagogue, which was famed even to the Turkish heritage in the museums nowadays as being a synagogue that used the finest Spanish rock from the medieval time period. It was, and I'm not too sure if it's still standing today or not, but it's a very much a historic land site, which is very much used nowadays, and had the finest stone, finest material from the medieval times, which very much a lot of miracles occurred in this city during that time period, where there was a flourishing amount of Rabbanim. Another great thing about Chacham Avraham Palacci, he actually introduced a lot of studies into yeshivot, many modern thinking, how we apply things to modern days. He wrote books on question and answers, grappling with the current halachic issues that had taken place those days, especially in the Turkey places, and places where I think very much of the Spanish Inquisition, many people populated many of the different places like Italy and Turkey and moved all over in different parts of Europe and moved to Morocco respectively and to the Asian countries. He had a few brothers that were very big tzaddikim also. Chacham Rachamim, Chacham also Yosef Palaji. Also he left with two sons and two daughters. Chacham Avraham Palacci did. He left us with, I believe their names was Chacham Shlomo and also Chacham Yosef, also that took prestige positions after he had passed away in the rabbinate in Turkey and the various other positions that had taken place. He was actually won different prizes. He was seen very much as a very, very astounding man among the Turkish population, the non-Jewish population over there. He had won various prizes within regards to the Turkish government. He was seen as, and very, very much was seen as a person everyone came to for blessings, came to for advice, and was just Kiddush Hashem could sounds like could have described this great Rav which lived during that time period and had a lot of descendants nowadays that are very, very great Rabbanim all over the world. They are teaching, and he left the two sons, Chacham Shlomo and Chacham Yosef, that also took different positions, and also later stage, obviously, the next generation also obviously became great Rabbanim and moved all over the world respectively. And 20 different books he left us, and was a head rabbi for 30 years of Turkey, while he had obviously naturally many different positions in Beit Midrash, in the Beit Knesset, gave shiurim everywhere, gave drashot everywhere, and is now to this day world renowned as one of the greatest Rabbanim over the last few hundred years. It's his Hilula this week, Chaf Gimel Tevet. We are talking from the time of recording this. It's going to be, I believe, this evening from the time of recording this. So maybe we light candles in the Zuchuyot, all his Zuchuyot is in modern day, protecting all of Am Yisrael, all of Israel, all the people all over the world. And maybe we find out about his great teachings. We look into it, all the things we do. If we visit Turkey, we visit his kever in Izmir if we get the opportunity to do it. And we do. And we try and learn all his different Sefarim and buy his Sefarim, 20 different Sefarim we can find, which many of it is online. And remember the beauty about his Sefarim, nearly all the books have the name Abraham inside of it. Also, back in the day, especially in the Sephardic countries, Ladino was very much spoken in those countries, and a few of his books also were written and printed in the Lashon, the language of Ladino also, which is an extra benefit. So he left with a lot of Torah, a lot of heritage. There's a lot of heritage in Izmir. It's a country where a lot of Torah came from, and a lot of great Torah scholarship and flouriship came from, which we can still learn from modern days. And I keep hopefully do more videos here in the series of the great Sephardi Rabbanim, and I want to wish you all a Shavot Tov, and all of you be blessed and have an awesome week. Take care. Okay, bye.